and I would like to welcome Professor Yannis Psikaris from the Regional Development Institute of the University of the Pantheon in Athens that will present the lab. So, Yannis, please, the floor is yours.
Hello. The Chios Lab is a very, I could say, distinct case study because it has to do with an island, and also it has to do with the migration crisis, since the islands, and especially the Greek islands on the Aegean Sea, had been the first destination of massive refugees that crossed the Aegean in order to find way to the Europe in general. So we have focused on migration crisis because, and I think that one of the Greek islands that we selected, Chios Island, because this is actually a laboratory where you can see how an external shock was absorbed at a regional level, what the stakeholders and the people, the local people, did or tried to do in order to cope with all this issue, which, among other, had also a humanitarian dimension. So, what we would try to see in this pilot case is to see, first of all, how these people have been integrated. We can see here language barriers as an example, education for a refugee, providing the basic healthcare facilities. Second, the long-term housing. All these people required the necessary infrastructures in order to stay on an island before they leave, because the majority of them were intending to leave to other places. However, they should be registered in the area. Mental health, this is a very interesting case because the refugee and people that are forced to abandon the places that they were born, lived, is accompanied by a trauma. And trauma has taken many expressions, immediate expressions that come a bit later, and long-term expressions. So we would like to see how not only physically but also mentally these people were suffering, and how we could provide the necessary support for this. Another issue is related with the economic impact, and the economic impact could be seen from different stakeholders and different dimensions. As an example, Chios, although it's not one of the most important, the primary tourist destinations, of course, Chios is also an area that attracts tourists, and the tourist industry had a negative impact from the refugee crisis. At the same time, the local needs became even more urgent in order to support refugees, and this squeezed the local government and all other authorities. The reduced money they had should be utilized in order to provide the best possible solution. And finally, social cohesion. Here we can see cultural issues, how local people reacted, and how refugees had been integrated into the local community. I would like to stress here that the local people had a very humanitarian approach towards the refugees, and this is something that we would like to put an emphasis. Okay, so the key challenges for us had been the humanitarian crisis. This is just what I just mentioned. The other one has to do with the facilities and the infrastructures, where we can house all those people, provide the decent accommodation and living conditions at the same time, take care of different people, age, based on age structure. As an example, the case for children was of extreme importance, because in some cases there were only children without the family. However, so we don't need only facilities and infrastructure, but sometimes we need facilities and infrastructures to serve specific needs at the local level. Third, the public perception and xenophobia, how this was driven locally, what had been the reactions, and which had been the ways through which the public perception and xenophobia had been seen at the local level. Then social integration. We should keep in mind that talking about children, issues that have to do with the education. So at schools, it was necessary students from refugee families should be included in the locality and the local educational system. And I feel that there was a policy toward this integration. However, we will see different angles and different views on this issue in the study we're conducting. And finally, security concerns. This is also another important issue, because sometimes there was an unrest in some camps, as an example, or there was also always an issue when people were gathering in a specific place without knowing each other, and being obliged to keep some rules, how these rules were implemented in a way that should protect the humanitarian, the human rights, and things like that. At the same time, protecting the population and all the locality and the people. The methodology, I would like to be short here. There are two important concepts. The first one is the participation, and the second one is the engagement of citizens and stakeholders in a multi-level, multi-sector perspective. I think this sentence describes in brief what our approach is consisted of. In this respect, in the next bullet, we can see that we have organized a webinar in order to inform stakeholders about the project and to ask them to participate, and to underline the importance of taking them into this study. Then we have organized interview with stakeholders. I would like to say here that we have a multi-sector and multi-tier approach. In this respect, we have incorporated in our list supranational organizations such as the United Nations or the European Union. At the national level, the ministries, the line ministries, and other bodies of public policy that are involved in this issue, and regional and local actors, whether they are public, private, or civil society. We have constructed the list, and now we're taking the interviews. On parallel, we have constructed a questionnaire that has been uploaded on the platform, where we're going to select answers and attitudes from local people. Then we're going to organize focus groups. One of them has been settled for 20th. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. I can go back with that. Anyway, it is most probably 20th of May that we're going to have in-person meeting on the island. Then other public events. The Mastic Museum, the Chios Mastic Museum, is a very good landmark because Chios is very famous with the Chios Mastic, even from the ancient times, and today it's a very unique product that's produced only in a specific area on an island. It's not across the island. It is in the southwest part of Chios, and there is also a museum, and there is a very good product with agricultural producers which have a high demand in markets, and we consider them as an issue for strengthening the resilience of the local community. And also we are in collaboration, or we have proposed local media and TV or press in order to disseminate this information of the study. The next, please. The team is consisted by professors, university personnel, me included. I am Yannis Psikaris, a professor at Pantheon University and also coordinator of the Greek team. Eleni Gaki, again, is associate professor at the University of Aegean. This reflects our intention to incorporate local university and local educational entities into the project. And Eleni is a very good link with the local academic and not only academic society. Asimina Christoforou, who is an assistant professor, part of the Regional Development Institute research personnel, with an expertise in social capital. And since we are talking about participatory procedures, it has a very central role in our case, in our pilot case. Then Jenny Sikala is one IT expert that has been placed in Chios. She's working at the municipality of Chios, and in this respect, she is the focal point, the focal person, and the liaison person in order to have a direct contact with the municipality. Danai Tursoglu Papalexandrou is a recent PhD student, PhD holder, and she also has conducted research with the local participation. This is a local participation expert. She's going to conduct some interviews as well. The other one is Vasilis. Vasilis is electrical and computer engineer. It's very promising and very well equipped young scientist who has provided important supportive work, especially in the platform or in the analysis of the collected answers, also for storing the interviews, and in another stage for analyzing it. And finally, Vasiliki Konomopoulou, a PhD chemical engineer, who is the project manager, actually is Vasya is very capable in handling the whole project in mainly administrative issues and technical issues that are related with the administration. However, she is taking place in the work we are doing. However, her expertise is more focused on project management. Okay, I don't want to go very further on this, just to give some headings. What we want is to gain knowledge and possible resources. The building capacity, it's very important because Chios Lab can develop new skills to tackle contemporary and future challenges, because actually in the questionnaire what we want to ask is to ask what was the experience from each separate stakeholder of the refugee crisis in the island. What went wrong? How can you assess? And what went well? And what we could envisage for future crises, which, as Matthias said, most probably we don't know what type these will have. However, in any case, the issue of resilience is of critical importance. Influencing policy, yes, through the involvement of local stakeholders. What we want is to construct policy guidelines, building partnerships, bringing all these people and stakeholders together. You can see much more easier the complementarities and the synergies that can be arise from their work, and the global perspective, because as we wrote in the title of the presentation, we are going to have in the next ERSA conference at end of August in Azores, Terceira, where we are going to present localizing global trends. The case of Chios refugee crisis. We are going to present some of the issues that have already been formulated from these types of activities. Get in touch, it's not only with me. However, I am acting as a contact point at the Regional Development Institute. However, maybe we should enrich this list with the other colleagues. If we have not done that in the previous page, we can list it here. In any case, in the correspondence we have with the local stakeholders, there is also a broader list of contact persons that could be approached from the interested parties. Thank you very much.